Hello, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with...
It's Sister Vicky.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. What are we making today?
We're making a marinade for grilled chicken thighs, honey sesame chicken. Okay, so this part we're going to be making the marinade. It's going to include oil, sesame oil, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, honey, lemon juice, garlic, salt and pepper. And we're going to marinate chicken thighs today.
Nice.
Alright, so I'm going to get started. Put the olive oil. And this is easy because you just dump it in and we're just going to whisk it and throw in the chicken thighs.
Yeah, it's very easy. We've been eating this chicken for a few weeks, and my sister, she's a pro at it, so that's why we're working with it. Now, how much marinade for how much chicken would you say?
This will do about 8 chicken thighs, but it leaves a lot of juice left over, so you could probably do a little more, like if you want to do even 12. So do that.
Yeah, I'll have the exact amount of everything in the video description.
And sesame oil is something you'll find in the Asian section of your grocery store. Mm-hmm. Most grocery stores have it nowadays, so you should be able to find it.
Yeah. All right, so we're pouring in our
sesame oil, which smells fantastic.
Yeah, but like this recipe is a little tricky in the essence of, like, you know, not everybody, you know, has. I don't think everybody has like sesame oil or maybe even soy sauce in their pantry. So it might be something where you might have to go pick it up. But honestly, it's worth it. Or I mean sesame oil, I'm saying. Because it's worth it, because this chicken tastes terrific. So now we're pouring in the soy sauce. Which, if you make your own jerky, you have a lot around. And I do. Which I will show eventually.
Soy sauce gives it a lot of flavor.
Yeah, it also adds a lot of salt as well, unless you're getting the lower sodium one.
Yeah, and we're using the low sodium one.
Yeah, which is fine, because you're going to add salt anyways.
To taste.
Yeah.
Now we're going to add in the lemon juice for a little acidity.
Yeah.
And we won't be marinating the chicken very long.
Maybe an hour.
Yeah, or less, because the lemon juice helps break it down and make it nice and tender.
And you could use fresh lemons, of course.
Okay, and now the honey, which is going to add some sweetness. And I'm going to change to a different spoon. And the honey adds some sweetness, but it's not overpowering. So our father doesn't like sweet things, so he really enjoyed this. So it doesn't, even though we're putting in what may appear to be a lot of honey, it's not. It doesn't give a lot of sweetness.
Yeah, over the amount that you're putting in, you're not really putting a ton in. It's just like a hint. You know what I mean? And we get our honey locally, local honey, best honey.
Okay, so we finished adding our honey, and now it's time for the garlic. So this is about 6 cloves of garlic. We use the sliced one. Let me get out a spoon a little spatula to get this out. You can chop or mince your own garlic, or you can use the pre-cut. The pre-cut is really
time saving.
Yes, and convenient.
Yeah.
And the other part's a little oil with that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually water that's with it.
Oh, it's water. It's my mistake.
Yeah, it's alright.
Alright, now we're going to whisk this together before we put in our chicken.
Yeah, because you want to combine everything. You got to add any salt and pepper here?
You're right. That's a good point. Let me add that in.
No
garlic powder because we added the whole garlic. So we add, I'm adding ground black pepper, and you add that to taste. So I like to add a lot. So
Yeah,
make it a little spicy.
We like our stuff peppery. I'll have in the video description the exact.
It'll be about a quarter of a teaspoon. All right. And just a little salt because we use that soy salt
and the sesame oil, which probably has some salt in it.
Actually,
and Worcestershire. Did you put Worcestershire?
Yes. Did I? No, I didn't. Thank you for reminding me.
Jeez.
See, it's always good to have some backup.
Yeah.
All right, so add that in. This also imparts another savory flavor.
Yeah, umami, as they
Umami.
call it. Umami, he says in there too, look at that. So yeah, Worcestershire is also another ingredient that I use quite a bit when I'm making jerky, which again, I'm going to show you how to make in another video.
Alright, and just whisk all that in until it's nice and combined.
Yeah.
And the honey, when I first started mixing, was a little thick, but now it's mixed in really well, and it's a nice, beautiful marinade.
Mm-hmm. It is very good when after you're done and you reduce the mixture. It's very good.
Alright, so now I'm going to add in the chicken. And like we said at the beginning of the video, we're going to be using chicken thighs. So add those in.
See, now we're technically doing a little bit bigger of a batch because we like chicken here, and we're having the guests over, I think. Anyways, yeah, so chicken, you could use breasts, you could use legs.
Yep, it's great
Yeah.
for anything.
Yeah, you could use whatever.
And I'm gonna use tongs just to keep my hands clean.
Why? You just got your
Cleaner
hands dirty.
than if I had to mix it with both hands. So you want to coat them all in the marinade. And what I do while it's marinating is I flip them over. That way each side can get good exposure to the marinade.
Yeah. And we're gonna marinate this for about an hour, right?
An hour, 45 minutes.
At least an hour, right? Right? At least an hour, or up to an hour?
Up to an hour.
Okay. Well, no, I remember when we made it last time. We marinated for a bit, but whatever. You can marinate it at least an hour.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna put some saran wrap on top.
Yep.
Throw it in the fridge and let it marinate for an hour.
Okay, so we're back. I've been flipping them for about every 20 minutes for the past hour. You can see they've gotten nice and brown. They picked up some of that color from the marinade. You can let it go for longer and flip them occasionally for another hour or so. But you don't want it to go too long because of the lemon juice in there. So we're gonna grill these up in a little bit and reduce the marinade, and you'll get to see what we do then.
All right, here we are outside with the trusty grill. We're warming it up, but what I like to do is I take a little oil. I take a paper towel. Well, actually, the first thing I do is I clean off the grill. Always clean off your grill before you use it, in the essence of like after you're done grilling. Sometimes I clean it off before, but you like to get it hot so that you can clean off the grill here. And a little bit over here. Alright, so what I like to do to add a little non-stick to the grill is I add a little bit here and I just rub the oil on. This helps make a nice non-stick surface to your grill. I don't do this every time, but I do it like every once in a while. And as you can see, it is getting a little warm there. We're gonna do this. Now I'm just gonna let this hang out and warm up for a few more minutes before we throw the chicken on. Our grill is sufficiently preheated, and what I'm gonna do is, you see how there's two different sides to this thing? You have I'll call it the icky side and then the flat side. I like to put down icky side first. Hopefully you can hear that sizzle. And you want to try and flatten it out, get as much as you can literally on the grill. I'm just gonna, because it helps cooking. When it's, see, you flatten it out because it helps with the cook time. Anyways, we're gonna cook this out here as we put this on here like this, and we're gonna bring in the remainder of the juice and make a nice reduction. All right, so as you can see, I put most of the chicken on here. You're literally gonna let this cook for about 8 minutes aside. 5 to 8 minutes aside. You're gonna use your trusty thermometer if you got one. If you don't, that's some, you know, I wish I could put a coupon code. But yeah, you want to cook it until the internal temperature is at 165. We'll come back and I'll show you the flip. All right, as you can see, here's the juice from it. Also, another quick tip: if you're cooking with tiny pieces of chicken, can you move that over, or can you see it? If you're cooking with small pieces of chicken or anything, you think it's gonna fall through the grates, always add a little piece of tin foil. Keep it from you losing that delicious meat. All right, we're ready to flip. As you can see, well, I really don't have any indication that it's ready, but on one side, but I like to just flip it like this. Now you're gonna get the nice side. Flippity dippity do. Yeah, don't be afraid. Some people are like, oh, you know, one flip, that's it. Don't be afraid to flip it multiple times if you gotta. You know, I was reading something the other day, or a while ago, about flipping burgers, that if you flip it like every 2 minutes, see, this is what happens when you don't extend it all the way, but whatever. Anyways, I was reading something about when you flip burgers like every 2 minutes when they're on the grill, it actually cooks quicker. So, that's kind of cool. I haven't actually tested it out, but I believe it, because it's from Food Labs. Anyways, we're gonna let these cook another 8 minutes or so, and I'll come back and we'll test to make sure they're 165. As you can see, I'm also grilling some veg, which might be another episode down in the future. All right, well, with the small pieces, I just do like a little flip. Can you see it? And you just let it cook. These actually will cook quicker than even the big stuff. We got our thermometer here. I'm gonna stick it in this thigh. It's pretty hot. It's gotta be at 165. And there you go. Let's check this one out. The thinner ones are probably ready at 165. But yeah, thighs are great. 56 and a little longer. Thighs are a great. Yeah, this is done. Thighs are great because they're cheap, they're flavorful, they're good on the grill, a little longer. And as I'm cooking, I'm trying to move everything closer together. This is all set. It's just no, it's done. And you can see the nice grill marks here. Let's see this one. This one's a thick one. That one's done. Yeah, nice grill. That's why I do the bottom side. I'm assuming these are done. But yeah, thighs are a nice cut of meat. I know some people don't like thighs. I never used to like thighs when I was a kid. This is ready, but I'm just gonna let it sit for another minute. I want to get a nice, see these nice grill marks? I just want to get them on both sides if possible. And yeah, I'm just moving everything together.
Okay, so now that the chicken's done, we're going to reduce the marinade that we made. And it's safe to use as long as you boil it. So I'm going to turn the oven on, wrong side. I'm going to turn it on, start getting it warm. And as soon as it boils, it's okay to eat. I'm going to reduce it a little to make a nice thick glaze that goes really good over the chicken thighs. Alright, so it's starting to boil a little bit, and not safe to eat yet, just starting to boil. So what I'm gonna do is I just like to stir it around a little bit, just to keep things moving. And I do have it on high heat, that way the evaporation can take place a little faster. So we'll come back when it becomes more of a rolling boil. Alright, so here you can see it's a rolling boil. This is just where I want it. I'm gonna stir it a little bit just to keep everything moving. So at this point, it's going to keep reducing down, and I'm going to reduce it until it's as thick as a glaze. It'll keep evaporating and get nice and thick and really delicious. Okay, so here we are. It's where I want it to be. See how nice and thick that is? And nice and dark and caramelized. And see when you scrape your spoon through, it leaves a line. Just where I want it. So I'm going to turn the heat off and just stir. And it's going to cool quickly, and it's going to be a delicious glaze on top of the chicken. Okay, so we've moved the glaze into a bowl, and you could glaze the chicken as much as you like, or everyone can do it individually. I'm just going to put a little bit over the top, so you can have just a little bit with each bite.
And as you can see here, there's all of our chicken. So let's eat. All right, here's our chicken here. Whoop, with the glaze, the thighs.
Delicious.
Delicious. Now, one thing I want to mention is the glaze is great.
That's a great thing about a marinade is you can use whatever's left over and make a glaze.
Yeah.
As long as you boil it.
That's good. It's got a tang to it. It's got a little bit of...
It's a hint of sweet.
Yeah. But one thing I want to mention is you can make this marinade and you can pan fry it. You can bake it. And you can even broil it if you don't have a grill. Use your broiler. But yeah, this recipe is great for anything. You can use it. I put the marinade on top of broccoli when it's done. It's terrific. So I am been Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with...
Peace, Sister Vicky.
And this has been another Cooking with Kenshin1913.
Enjoy and happy eating.